welcome to Intermissions, your backstage pass to On the Air with Florenza. You'll experience bloopers, outtakes, surprises, and all the laughter in between. Intermissions is unscripted, unfiltered, and undeniably Florenza. So put your hands together to welcome today's guest to the show. Thank you so much, Glenn, for joining me on this episode of On the Air with Florenza. Well, we are going to talk about your debut novel, Where the Nights Smell Like Bread. And listen, I am so excited to get into your book. But before we do, as is my tradition, we are going to toast to an amazing show. And I've got a little, I don't know, something going on, Red. I just grabbed a bottle and poured. And okay.
Lemonade.
That's lemonade?
That's lemonade. Yeah.
Why does it look like milk?
I don't know.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
That is the whitest looking lemonade I've seen.
Yeah,
but
I know.
Go roll with it.
I don't know what to say.
Okay, roll with that. Roll with that. If you were stranded in Rome with only 3 things in your backpack, what would they be? And be honest, how many of them would be snacks?
Snacks.
Yes.
Well, none of them would be snacks because
Okay.
you don't have to carry around snacks with you in Rome.
This
Every
is true.
street corner has like about 1,000 places you can buy something to eat. And nothing I'm going to carry around in my pocket's going to taste as good as something I can buy. So no snacks. What would I take? I don't know. My phone. Look, you got to have a phone today. Probably take my some money. These are boring answers, but the other thing, sunglasses. It's cool. If you're in Rome, you got to wear sunglasses. I mean, you got to be cool. I don't care if it's nighttime, cloudy weather, hurricanes. The sunglasses go on in Rome because you got to be cool like the Romans.
You absolutely do.
Yeah. Now, the problem with sunglasses is you have to wear narrow pants.
Yes.
And sometimes they get smashed when you cram them in your. So anyway, but those are the 3 things.
Have you ever walked into a bakery just for the smell and walked out with 6 loaves and no regrets?
All the time. You kidding? Especially in Rome. No, look, I have a sweet tooth. It's really a problem with me. I cannot pass up a cupcake, much less an Italian pastry. Look, they're all incredible, and I just eat them, can I say? So no. When it comes to that kind of willpower, it's gone. But the nice thing, if we're talking about Rome or any place in Italy, is you walk all the time.
Yes, you do.
So, you're going to eat your way through the city, but you're going to be walking and climbing stairs.
Yes.
So, it works.
Yes,
It
you
works.
really do. You work it off. You work it
You
off. So
work it
just
off.
enjoy.
Yeah,
Just enjoy. Now, your main character, Mark, if he
right.
was invited to a dinner party with his art world friends, who would you not want to sit next to you and why?
His art world friends. Yeah. Well, he's got a lot of people that he hangs out with that I would not like to sit next to. Probably uh, Carlos.
Okay.
Carlos. That would be Marina's Spanish boyfriend. He's a creepy character. Yeah, he's creepy. I got creeped out just creating him, because you pull parts of yourself out to create these characters. And I didn't like him.
Did you find yourself sleeping with the light on when you were writing, Carlos?
Yeah, for sure.
Your guilty pleasure when writing late into the nights. I'm going to give you some options: cheesy 80s music, vintage wine, or Googling villas, which you may or may not purchase.
Which was the third one?
Googling villas, which you may or may not purchase.
Good. Yeah, well, that sounds good to me. Yeah. I do like to do that and sort of fantasize about having one. Although I do have a house in Italy. I bought one.
Oh,
It's a little
nice.
house. It's a farmhouse in Umbria. And that's my go-to place when I write. I love it.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
yeah,
Maybe
that's what I
that
do.
can be a little location for us other writers. Not that we would write
Hey,
anything about Italy, just so we can go and hang out.
writer's retreat in Umbria. Yeah. Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Let me know when you plan on doing that.
Okay. But Florenza, I don't write late at night. My write time is early in the morning.
Oh, nice.
And I'll tell you why. Because when I wake up,
Hmm.
I'll swallow a quick cup of coffee. Maybe I'll do a few exercises. Then I sit down and I write. And that's a very powerful time of day for me because it draws on my subconscious.
Hmm.
I'm close to my dreams.
Yeah,
I'm close to kind of a creative source
yeah,
that vanishes
yeah,
as the day goes on and you get wrapped up in the business of the day.
yeah,
So that's my time for writing. I get my best stuff done
yeah.
early in the morning, at least in terms of creating characters,
Hmm.
plotting a book, walking through the book. The editing and all the rest can come
Yeah,
anytime.
yeah,
But morning is the creative time for me. Yeah.
yeah.
You probably
Sh-
know that too as an
Yeah,
author.
you know what? Surprisingly, m- my inspiration will come in dreams. I Most of my books were created due to dreams, either night
Yeah.
dreams or daydreams. But that real creative burst for me comes in the shower. There
Yeah.
is something about being in a
So
shower.
annoying, isn't it?
I'm
So
trying to wash
annoying.
body parts and I'm hearing, and then you got to jump out and I'm covered in soap and shampoo and I'm looking for something to
It's
write on.
like,
And it's like,
couldn't it wait?
could you not wait? No, and I feel like, I've got these peepholes in my bathroom of characters, that are looking in and they're like, is she wet yet? Is she wet yet? All right, she is. Bombard.
I'll jump out. If it's a good enough idea, I got my phone. I jump out and I talk into my phone and throw it down and then get back in.
So you understand
I understand. Yeah.
something about that water. And this wraps up our episode of Intermissions, your backstage pass to On the Air with Florenza. Be sure to check out the full interview for this author as well as others on Florenza's podcast, On the Air with Florenza. And until next time, cheers.